It's 33 minutes after 10. Some lovely text coming in. Mike in Greenford writes to 84850. James, don't try explaining the Higgs boson particle to a 6-year-old. Just wait until they're 10 and then they'll be able to explain it to you. Quite a lot of people. I missed this gag. Alan is doing it. Graham's done it. Several more have pointed out that this idea of creating something out of nothing is not new at all, and that bankers, God bless them, have been doing it for years. I presume the religious lobby represented this morning by the fact that a few tweets have come in, a few texts have come in saying, yes, but who created the nothing out of which this something has come? Can you still posit a god, a deity, and an all-seeing power, or at least a source, a power source in a Higgs boson world? I simply don't know. I'm really not pretending this morning. It's not false ignorance in the hope of getting you to ring me. I think that's been proved by the calls. It's 10:34. We'll continue, shall we? Aaron's on the M25. Aaron, come on. What have you got?
Hello, James. How are you, mate? A little bit nervous. First-time caller, mate, so be gentle with me.
I can't imagine this topic descending into anything remotely aggressive. Can you, Aaron?
Not at all, mate. I sincerely hope not. Right. My basic understanding is... the Higgs boson is apparently the element which gives particles their mass. The world that we observe around us is apparently very solid and physical.
Yeah.
In recent years, quantum physics has, looking at things on a subatomic level, has realised that subatomic particles actually have no solidity. It's referred to in subatomics, in quantum physics, as the solidity problem. So that then poses the question of how can particles, subatomic particles, which have no solidity or mass, actually make up an apparently physical world, a solid world. So
you take anything from a biro to a person.
Yep.
You break it down into its smallest constituent parts.
Yep.
And science says that those constituent parts have no mass.
That's correct. That they actually have no solidity. There's another experiment in quantum physics called the double slit experiment, in which they were firing protons through a slit in a piece of metal, and what they realised was that when they were observing and measuring it, the proton went through one of two slits on this piece of metal. When they weren't observing it, it actually went through both, and that told them that these particles were actually waves. That's another principle in quantum physics called wave-particle duality. And I think on these discoveries, that's then prompted them to look for what is the process which gives these apparently solid particles and matter their mass and solidity, which I personally don't think they're ever going to find.
What, even today's announcements notwithstanding?
Yeah, that's my belief. From what I've heard of the actual announcement, it looks like they've seen a blip on a graph somewhere. I don't think they can categorically say they've found the process which does give this matter its solidity and its mass. You know. No,
but the thing about sigma is that if they look at their data, their confidence level is at the 5 sigma point. That means there's about a 1 in a 3.5 million chance that the signal they see would appear if there were no Higgs particles. So it's a sort of 3.5 million to 1 shot that it's not there. You'd take those odds, wouldn't you?
You probably would, but I'm not confident that these scientists are fully aware of really what they're looking for, to be honest. I think until science opens its mind to at some level to spirituality, and vice versa.
I'm surprised that you say that, because so far, I can't believe this is your first time call. This must rank among the best informed and most illuminating calls I can remember taking in a long time.
Thanks, James.
But you clearly are really not only interested in this, but clearly you've done your homework. You've swatted up and you've really looked into it, and you have genuinely explained it to me in a way which has increased my understanding. I wouldn't claim that I'm all the way there yet. Sure. and yet you're informed or motivated on some level by religion as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't say religion as such. I would say more a level of spirituality.
Okay, so there must be something beyond science, in a sense.
I believe so, yeah, I believe so. From my understanding, the actual energy which we're seeing in the waveform at a subatomic level, which then makes up the physical world we see, is at a very, very base level consciousness. And that's actually the same consciousness that animates our bodies, that we observe this reality through.
And this is your personal view now? This is your world theory?
Yeah, it is.
I like it, actually. I quite like it. Why do you know... forgive me, but why do you know so much about this? Why are you so... what is...
kind of in my spare time, I research sort of online these kind of things. It was... I basically had a bit of an awakening process, sort of maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and kind of started asking the questions to myself of what is this reality that we're experiencing? What's this all about? There must be more meaning to this, and that's prompted me to kind of research online and via books.
But you use the language with really casual confidence. That's what I think I've enjoyed the most about your call, is the way you talk about subatomic levels and you talk about solidity, and you explain yourself in a really just human fashion, in a really normal... Can I say street level? I know the words are scientific, but you've got the casual confidence of using them that I just wouldn't have.
Really? That's I appreciate that, James. Thanks very much.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Mate.
Oh, well, let's do it again. What are you going to ring in about next, I wonder?
I don't know, mate. We'll see. I definitely won't hesitate to pick up the phone again, though, mate. I promise.
Look forward to it. Thank you. Okay, that begins to make sense. So science couldn't explain how the smallest building blocks of the universe had solidity or mass. So once you broke them down to a subatomic level, all of the available evidence would suggest that they shouldn't have any mass or solidity. So that means there must be something currently unavailable that would explain how they had mass and solidity. Therefore, they presumed that something like this must exist, and they worked out a way of possibly creating it in laboratory conditions, and that's what they think they've done this morning. Forgive me if I'm getting a bit carried away with Aaron, but that was absolutely blinding, wasn't it? Adam's in Fitzrovia. Adam, what would you like to say?
I really enjoyed that last call as well.
He was great, wasn't he?